I had to let go, not because I wanted to, but because the weight of the secrets buried in my family's past became too much to carry. I had to protect myself from the shadows, even if it meant walking away from the one person I loved the most. Sometimes family secrets aren't just about the things unsaid. They're about the lies woven so deeply into our lives that breaking free from them feels like breaking part of yourself. The hardest part of leaving wasn't just the love I had for you, but the realization that some truths, once revealed, change everything. Even love couldn't outshine the darkness of the secrets I was forced to uncover. I didn't want to hurt you, but the truth became a burden too heavy to carry alone. Leaving was never my first choice, but it was the only choice left when the truth surfaced and everything I knew shifted. Walking away was an act of self-preservation, not an act of love lost. Some family secrets are meant to stay hidden, but when they come to light, they leave you no choice but to separate from everything you thought you knew. You have to understand, it wasn't because I didn't love you. It was because I couldn't bear to let you bear the weight of a secret that could destroy us both. I left not because I wanted to, but because the family's dark truth became something I couldn't ignore any longer. It was like being torn between two worlds, and in the end, I chose to protect my peace. The more I tried to hold on, the clearer it became that the secret we shared wasn't just in our family, it was in me. And for my own sanity, I had to walk away from the one person who meant everything. I wish I could have explained to you sooner why I had to leave, but sometimes the weight of family secrets isn't something you can put into words. It's something you carry, and eventually it becomes too much. The secret I was carrying wasn't just a memory. It was a force that pulled at every part of me. I had to leave, not because of you, but because I was suffocating under the weight of a truth I couldn't share. I walked away because the secret I kept from you wasn't something you could ever understand. The pain wasn't in my heart for you, it was in my soul, torn between love and family loyalty. Leaving you was the hardest decision I've ever made, but sometimes love is overshadowed by things we can't control. Family secrets have a way of tearing apart what you thought was unbreakable. I thought the truth would set me free, but it only left me with more pain and more distance. I had to separate myself from you, not because I didn't love you, but because the truth was too painful to face together. In the quiet moments, I wondered if I could have stayed, if I could have fought harder. But the truth of what I knew about my family's past kept pulling me away And no matter how much I loved you, I had to go. There are secrets that define us in ways we never expect. Sometimes, when you uncover them, you realize that keeping them to yourself is the only way to protect the ones you love. And so I had to walk away from you. Leaving felt like betraying myself, but staying felt like betraying you. Family secrets are a cruel kind of paradox, one that forces you to choose between the ones you love and the truths you can't deny. The hardest part of walking away was knowing that the love between us wasn't enough to overcome the weight of what I knew. Sometimes secrets change everything, even the strongest bond. I had to separate from you because the burden of carrying a secret that wasn't mine to keep was slowly consuming me. And in the end, I had to protect myself from being swallowed whole by it. It wasn't a decision made out of hate or anger. It was made out of love. Because sometimes love means recognizing that you have to walk away to save yourself from the truth that will ruin everything. I left not because of you, but because of the history that ran deeper than anything we could ever build. The secret was too big, too heavy, and I couldn't bear to watch it destroy everything I held dear. Every moment spent with you was filled with love, but the shadow of the secret I carried with me cast a darkness that we couldn't escape. And though I wished it wasn't so, I had to walk away. Leaving wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a sign of strength. It took courage to face the truth, even when the truth tore apart everything I thought I knew about love and loyalty. The hardest truth I had to face was that some secrets are too powerful to keep hidden forever, and when they emerge, the only option left is to walk away from the things you care about most. There are moments when love isn't enough to hold you together, when the past resurfaces in ways you never saw coming. You find yourself making choices you never thought you'd have to make. I didn't want to walk away from you, but the truth was a weight I couldn't carry alone anymore. Family secrets are like chains. They may be hidden for a while, but eventually they will bind you. I walked away because the secret wasn't just something from my past. It was something that was shaping my future, and I had to protect myself, even if it meant breaking your heart. Some family secrets are so powerful, they transcend time and distance. I had to separate myself from you to stop it from consuming both of us. I walked away with a heavy heart, torn between love and the truth. The reality of what I knew about my family's past was something I couldn't carry with me any longer, and it left me with no choice but to leave. The truth tore me apart, and in the process, it tore us apart. I had to separate from you because I couldn't keep living in the shadow of a secret that defined everything. I wanted to stay. I wanted to hold you and never let go. But the secret I carried was too much for either of us to handle, and it made it impossible for us to continue without risking everything. In the end, I had to choose the truth over the lie I'd been living. I walked away not because I didn't love you, but because I knew that if I stayed, I would lose myself in a family secret I could never escape. Leaving you felt like a betrayal, but the betrayal of my own truth was something I couldn't live with. Family secrets have a way of finding their way to the surface, and when they do, they change everything. I had to let go because the weight of a hidden truth was more than I could carry, and I knew that you didn't deserve to be dragged into a story that wasn't yours to tell. Sometimes the hardest thing you'll ever do is walk away from someone you love. But when the past resurfaces with the kind of truth that changes everything, you have no choice but to let go. I had to leave because the truth was louder than my love for you. Sometimes family secrets are like storms. They shake everything you thought was solid, and in the aftermath, nothing feels safe anymore. The truth about my family wasn't just a secret. It was a force that threatened to break everything apart. And though I loved you with all my heart, I had to separate from you to protect us both. I walked away because love alone couldn't fix what was broken. The truth was too big to ignore, and the more I tried to push it away, the more it tore us apart. I didn't want to hurt you. I never wanted to walk away from what we had. But sometimes the truth isn't something you can share, and it becomes something that forces you to separate from the ones you love. I left because the secret wasn't something I could explain, and even if I could, I knew you would never understand why it made walking away the only choice I had left. The truth is sometimes a burden too heavy to carry. I had to leave you not because I wanted to, but because the weight of what I knew about my family was a burden I could no longer share. The decision to leave wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Family secrets have a way of pulling at the threads of everything you hold dear, and when they unravel, you're left with nothing but emptiness. I wish I could have stayed. I wish we could have built a life together, but the secret that haunted me was too powerful, and it forced me to walk away from the one thing I wanted most. Sometimes, when you love someone deeply, you have to step away to protect them from the truths that could destroy them. And even though it broke my heart, I had to leave to keep you safe. I had to separate from you because the truth about my family's past was too painful to carry into the future. It wasn't a choice I made lightly, but it was the only one left to me. In the silence, I knew what I had to do. The secret was too heavy, and it was breaking me in ways I couldn't explain. I had to leave to protect myself, even if it meant losing everything. I wish I could have stayed and fought for us, but the truth about my family's secret was a battle I couldn't fight with you by my side. The love I felt for you was genuine, but the truth about what I carried was too much for us to bear together. I had to separate to save both of us from the inevitable pain that truth would bring. I loved you enough to walk away because staying meant bringing a burden upon you that you didn't deserve to bear. The secret wasn't just about the past, it was about protecting the future. The hardest part of leaving was knowing that the truth about my family would forever haunt me, but it was the only way to ensure that we wouldn't be destroyed by a past neither of us could change. Leaving wasn't easy. It felt like losing a part of myself, but the truth was a force too strong to ignore, and it left me with no choice but to walk away and protect what I had left.